Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby and have ourselves a drink.
All right, and with that, we are back in the lobby bar for the week of November the 4th, 2024. Brian and Michaela here with you. And Michaela, it's a pretty monumental week here in the United States. It is election week. So if you're hearing this, the election is tomorrow. So go vote if you're able to and feel so inclined. Definitely do that. And definitely going to need a drink come tomorrow for sure,
Yeah.
Michaela. But luckily for us, we have a new ingredients this month. We went to the well a bunch of times last month for what did we even do last month? I don't even remember now.
Frangelico.
Frangelico. We did Frangelico for a whole month. So we're turning the page on that. Maybe turning lots of pages this week. I don't know who's to say. But how are you doing? Welcome to this week.
Well, I'm good. I'm in need of a cocktail and it's only Monday. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I don't so it was Halloween last time we talked.
It was,
Lots
yes.
happened since then. Maybe not a lot, but the weather is
Hmm.
decidedly turned. It was the hottest Halloween that I remember having. And then like the next day, the entire world turned into a Hallmark fall commercial.
It did,
So
yes.
I'm kind of excited
Hmm.
because we've got some really fun cocktails in line for our lobby bars this month, featuring Chambord, which is one of my favorite liqueurs. It's probably,
Hmm.
to be honest, it's probably the first liqueur that I ever really got exposed to as like a late teen, early adult.
Okay. Okay.
Because my stepmother loves to add it to certain things. She just really loves it. And the bottle's so beautiful. It's like this like
It
orb
looks like a little
with like
globe.
gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
Hmm.
pretty.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, yeah, so we have Chambord coming. Is coming everyone's way this month for our lobby bar cocktails. They're going to do a little bit of a deep dive here on that ingredients over the first couple or over this month of November. And Chambord's going to be really good spirit for us here because you can either lighten it up, you can dress it down into some darker depths, which is what we're doing today. It's going to be perfect like for like Thanksgiving tables and things like that. And we're going to talk about all of that. But first, Michaela, I'd like to wish you a belated happy birthday here on behalf of the podcast. We did post it online, so I guess it wasn't really that belated, but you did turn a year older since our last recording. Now tell me, well, hopefully the birthday was okay, but did you have a special birthday cocktail?
I did. I did. So my friend Heather came over and she loves like sweet, creamy drinks. And so I made like this really cool like snickerdoodle drink with frangelico and butterscotch schnapps. It's all the things that you
Mm,
probably
hmm.
despise because it was
Hmm.
very sweet. There was like this pumpkin pie um, Irish cream that we used. It was not Bailey's. It was some other brand, but it was lovely. And I have to say, it definitely put me in the spirit for like the fall life in general. But that was a good one. I had a really beautiful martini at a place called Ever Arano down in
Mm,
Noda,
okay.
which is
Hmm.
an area in Charlotte. If you are interested in really nice Italian food and really fabulous cocktails, go there. There's a wine bar right next door called, I think, Vins or Vins. It's very good. But my martini was amazing. And it was like an herbalist gin. I'd never
Okay.
heard of it
Hmm. Hmm.
before. It was fabulous. It was so good.
Excellent. Okay, yeah, that sounds very good. So glad you got out, had a couple of good drinks there for your birthday. Happy birthday once again. And now let's turn our attention to Chambord. So Michaela, yeah, as we've been doing the last couple of months, we're featuring a liqueur for the month, right? You buy a bottle, you go into the store and you buy a bottle of Chambord and you say, what am I going to do with it? And the answer is anything. Chambord is very versatile. It's very delicious. It'll go in things with whiskey. It'll go in things with gin. It'll go in things with sparkling wine. It goes in anything. And it's amazing, but it is a little bit on the pricey side, and there's a really good reason for that. So let's talk about Chambord a little bit here. I did a little bit of research here on this ingredients just to see what it was all about. So Chambord is based on a a raspberry spirit that originated in the Loire region of France in the late 1600s. Then the actual Chambord brand and recipe that we know and love today was introduced in 1982 to the world by Jacquin's, which is a cordial manufacturer based out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Now, that cordial manufacturer is very old. It was founded in 1884 by Charles Jacquin, who was a French immigrant to the United States here and did all these cordials. And then I guess one of his sons came up with the Chambord. And then actually the gentleman who created Chambord, one of his sons, went on to create Saint Germain. So there you go. It's all tying back to Michaela's favorite things here on the podcast is what we do. So that is how it began life. And what is Chambord, Michaela? Well, we know it, of course, as a raspberry liqueur, but to make it, they actually lay this all out on their website, which is pretty incredible. But they say that they infuse blackberries, raspberries, and black currants with an unaged French spirit. They let that steep for about 4 weeks, and then those berries get pressed out to make that luscious, luscious juice that they use in the Chambord. So basically, that infusion then is blended with fresh black raspberries, cognac, vanilla, citrus, and honey, and you get that luxurious mouthfeel, that really like dark, rich raspberry flavor of the Chambord, and that's why it's so expensive.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense because it is not the razzmatazz from De Cooper's. It is not
Right.
that.
Not that.
This is very different. And it's funny actually because I was somewhere and I asked if they had any Chambord. And they were like, nah, but we've got this raspberry liqueur. And I was like, that'll be fine. And they made whatever they made my one of my favorite drinks, which is just, bubbles with it. And I was like, this is awful. It ruined it because it was too viscous. It was way sweet. Chambord in and of itself, it's very special. It's not like a triple sec, right? Where I feel like you can get a lot of different triple secs and they're kind of the same, right?
Hmm.
This is it's a very special liqueur that cannot, maybe should not ever be substituted. You can in a pinch, I suppose, but that's one of the reasons why I wanted to highlight it for this
Hmm.
month because it's great for parties and you're getting into the fall festivities, right? But it's also like really just it's beautiful and it's very special. It's not yeah, it's a special liqueur.
It's a special little liqueur. Absolutely, absolutely. And the Chambord website again, which is amazing, has a bunch of recipes on there, and I'm pretty sure this is where we're going to be featuring all of our recipes for the month coming straight from that. So to get us started, Michaela, it is your year of whiskey, so let's make a Chambord French Manhattan. So the way this is going to go together, pretty simple. You could do this over like an ice cube if you wanted to. I prefer my Manhattans shaken and then strained into like a coupe glass. That's how I take mine, but you could totally do it over rocks too. It's up to you. But you're going to do 1.5 ounces of bourbon of your choice. 1 ounce of Chambord and a half ounce of sweet vermouth. Use a couple of dashes of orange bitters in there as well. So it's basically just a play on that tried and true Manhattan recipe, right? So of your 2 ounces of bourbon, 1 ounce of the sweet vermouth, and then your bitters. But this is going to incorporate the Chambord, which makes it rich and
Mm.
luxurious tasting. It has this like darkness, right? We just fell back the times now. So like that darkness that starts creeping in to your day about 4 p.m. That's what this tastes like in a glass. This is my new favorite way to have a Manhattan. Putting Chambord in everything I drink from now on. Doesn't even matter what it is. That's the game plan. But what do you think about this French Manhattan, Michaela?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, this is amazing. This is amazing. This is probably my favorite Manhattan of all time. And look, you should put Chambord and everything. Chambord and orange juice, Chambord and milk. It's going to just add a richness to it. You laugh,
Yeah.
but I'm telling you, raspberry milk tastes
If Norman
amazing.
Bates would have had Chambord in his milk, I'd have fallen victim too, for sure.
That's right. It would have saved lives. We could be dealing with a life-saving liqueur right here. But no, add this to bourbon and some sweet vermouth, done with a little bit of orange bitters. Now, I will say that this kind of orange bitters really brings out that citrus piece to the
Hmm.
Chambord, which is
Hmm.
really cool because I had no idea how complex it was to make this. It's really cool that they use all of those flavors kind of put together, and the orange piece really just brings the brightness out. Really lovely.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that is the cocktail for the week. And yeah, go pick up a bottle of Chambord. Let us know what your favorite way of using that cocktail ingredient is. And we're going to be featuring it here on the podcast in the lobby bar over the next couple of weeks. So, Michaela, let's talk about movies. Not a lot really to discuss movie wise here, so we can get through this pretty quick. It being Halloween last week, it is election week this week. So what happens at the box office? Venom: The Last Dance stays on top with another $26 million. The Wild Robot actually springs back a very respectable $7.5 million, followed by Smile, Conclave, and Here. So that is going to round out the box office results here this week. And Michaela, we don't have a bunch of new stuff come in, but as you mentioned, the tides have turned, right? Jack-o'-lanterns are out, Christmas trees are in. So we've got a Christmas movie coming everyone's way this week, but we also have a spooky, scary movie this week. So it's called Heretic. I don't know if you're familiar with this, if you've heard of this at all. It's like a religious, psychological thriller, psychological horror kind of thing. It stars Hugh Grant. I've actually feel like I've heard about this film for quite a while, and it's apparently finally getting its release this week, which seems kind of odd. The week after Halloween, maybe they just didn't think that it fit in well, with Terrifier and Smile and stuff like that had come out before. Maybe they thought it would get a little bit lost in the weeds. So you have that coming out. And if scary isn't your jam, maybe Christmas pageants are your jam, Michaela. And I will say for sure that Lauren Graham is my jam. So I'm going to go see this for sure. 100% the best Christmas pageant ever.
Yeah, the best Christmas pageant ever. Look, this movie's going to be amazing or amazingly awful. Either way, I think it's
Just
going to make
amazing.
it on. It's going to be amazing. They made this movie, the first movie, the first of these, in like I think the 80s,
Yeah,
maybe the early
83, I
90s.
think.
Yeah, and
I think it was like a made for
I
TV thing, potentially too, even.
yes,
So.
yeah. It was good. I read the book as a kid. I didn't quite get it,
Hmm.
but I gotta say they've done a great job marketing it because it looks like it's going to hit you in all the fields. It looks like a much different story. In all honesty, it looks like a different story than the one that I read, or at least what I remembered. So I'm actually really excited about it, and I am super excited about Heretic. Um,
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
love Hugh
Hmm.
Grant. I think Hugh Grant is a very underrated actor. I think he's very beloved for his like sweet, like casually sensitive romantic comedy kind of persona that was great and created an incredible vehicle for his career in at large. But seeing him as like the bad guy, and he's done that a few times in the last, I don't know, 5 years. He did it
That's
with
his new shtick.
Knowing. It is, and he does it so well. It's really exciting. I can't wait to see it. I don't know if I'm going to make it out to the theater to see it because there's a whole bunch of Oscar contender films that are still out that we got to go watch, and I need to knock those out. But I am excited about Heretic. It's got Sophie Thatcher, Elle McKinnon. I mean, she's like grown up now. She was a little baby the last time I saw her. I don't know what she was in, but she was much younger. But she was amazing. She was in Wonder. And so I'm excited. I'm just excited. I love scary stuff that's like also a little bit on the what's the word? It's not about like smile like the way Smile is or Terrifier 3 where it's pretty unbelievable. This has got some I don't know, sinister thriller bits to it. So I'm excited.
There you go. Absolutely. So you got those coming your way to the movie theater this week if you're making it out to see that, or if you're staying home. There wasn't a lot of new releases, so I wanted to make mention of this. The John Williams documentary, Music by John Williams, came out onto Disney Plus just a couple of days ago, so you can watch that. John Williams has been featured. I don't know. We've done this week will mark 191 episodes. I think John Williams has scored about 150 of the episodes that we've talked about. So pretty amazing life and career there. So check that documentary out. I'm sure that it is excellent. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. So that's what we have movie wise for everyone to watch. So go drink some Chambord, check those things out. And if you haven't gotten over Halloween yet, you need one last scare. Last week we came out with our Nightmare on Elm Street episodes. You can check that out. And this week we've got a little bit more lighthearted, something back from our childhood. I think you got a chance to watch this with your son. Maybe it was his first watch. We'll be talking about all that here this week on the main podcast when we talk about Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Go check out the Patreon, patreon.com/drink the movies. We did our hangout last week. That was a ton of fun. Talked about Ichabod and Mr. Toad, and we'll be getting November's hangouts and movies planned here in the next week or two as we make our way into November. So, Michaela, with that, I think what we better do is we better go just stock up. Just go see if we can get like a case of Chambord, right? We're going to need
Yeah.
that this week
Yep.
to get through for sure. So let's do that. You run to the store and grab that. I will grab the bourbon downstairs, and we'll talk to everyone next week in the lobby bar.